Conscium. Without us noticing, new connections are made in our brain, some of which will eventually break and some of which will probably stay forever. Beliefs are an example of those connections you will almost never break. It acts as the law system of our minds. The connections I make are what produce my emotions, are what permit me to be logical. The human brain is a network of approximately 100 billion neurons. Different experiences create different neural connections which bring about different emotions. And depending on which neurons get stimulated, certain connections become stronger and more efficient, while others may become weaker. This is what's called neuroplasticity. Someone who trains to be a musician will create stronger neural connections that link the two hemispheres of the brain in order to be musically creative. Nearly every talent can be stimulated through training. Roger Gamp, who was a self-admitted hopeless mathematician, used to fail at basic math and went on to train his abilities and became a famous human calculator capable of performing extremely complex mathematics. Rationality and emotional resilience work the same way. Those are neural connections that can be strengthened. Whatever you're doing at any time, you're physically modifying your brain to become better at it. Since this is such a fundamental mechanism of the brain, being self-aware can greatly enrich our life experience. But these connections do not just affect logic. Actually, they are the primal triggers of emotions. For instance, I get sad when someone dies because I have learned that death is associated with the end of someone's life and therefore associated with sadness. On the other hand, if I had never formed my understanding of death, and if it would be the first time I see it, I would probably not be affected by it because I don't really know what it is. As Hobbes said, complex ideas are formed by the sum of simple ideas. In a way, we are a complex idea, and each of these connections is the simple idea that makes the person we are. Luke's ideas can also be connected to my philosophy. He thought thinking was given to us from God. I rather believe thinking comes from the computation of these connections, and that maybe the ability to make this connection is what God gave us. Understanding the way these connections form gives us a huge advantage. The more connections we generate, the smarter and wiser we are. If we correctly learn to use techniques and tools to increase our connections in number and strength, we will be able to evolve even as a more complex and perfect being.